You have been called a recent convert to policing reforms. What has changed your mind, and why are you proposing all of these new ideas to add oversight over police departments and individual police officers?
Actually, Katie, I hope you'll stop citing whoever said that because they obviously didn't do their homework. If you consider me a recent convert when many of the reforms that are being proposed across the board, whether it's by the community activists or by elected leaders, we made those public, many of those reforms public a year and a half ago in a report that we issued after we had done an investigation of the shooting of an individual here in Sacramento, California, Stephon Clark. We are in the process of now releasing soon the second phase of our report on policing practices at the Sacramento Police Department. The first of those reports, as I mentioned, came out about a year and a half ago. They were the base. It was the basis. Many of those reforms were the basis for a new law in California that will take effect in January called SB 230 that provides for a number of the reforms that now you hear others calling for. So whoever continues to say that we're late to the game, whether Department of Justice or me, certainly doesn't know my record as AG. Actually, certain doesn't know my record as an elected official. 30 years ago, when I was in the Congress, I was one of those who pushed for a number of reforms in the way we do policing. So I wish people would do their homework, and I hope you'll stop citing those who didn't do their homework.
Well, because you want to know who said it, I'll share it. This is the San Francisco Chronicle editorial board, and they back it up by saying last year, before police reform was cool, Becerra was a bulwark against law enforcement accountability, bottling up officer misconduct records in defiance of landmark legislation by State Senator Nancy Skinner of Berkeley. They also say he issued his proposals the day after these proposals you're issuing now. The state's largest police unions, typically the most reactionary force in the field, supported similar steps. And they also say your plan is moderately more substantial in that it proposes blackballing bad cops and urges departments to abandon chokeholds outright while otherwise restricting deadly force. Like Trump, the attorney general also vaguely called for efforts to get police out of the business of dealing with homelessness, mental illness, and other non-criminal matters. So that's from that. There's also more from the Mercury News editorial board as well.
So I would, if they were here, I would say to them, they should have done their homework. They obviously did not do their homework for them to claim that we've not been in this game for quite some time. What they reference, this new law, SB 1421 in California, related to the issue of disclosing what was before private personal information. I did what I was supposed to do under statute, which is to make sure that people understood that that information up until 1421 was supposed to be private. My job is to protect the law and to protect people's privacy. So I was trying to do what I was supposed to. I made it very clear, by the way, before 1421 even became the law in California, that I was in favor of disclosing certain personnel information from the records of police officers. So again, it's one of those things where we can have a conversation, but people that are missing are the folks that didn't do their homework. The San Francisco Chronicle editorial board and the San Jose Mercury News editorial board. And I'd be more than willing to have them come on with us, and we can have that conversation.
Hello, YouTubers. If you're watching this, it means you've checked out our channel, so thank you. Now do me a favor, subscribe by clicking on that button down there. Click on any of the videos to watch the latest interviews and highlights from MTP Daily and MSNBC. You can get more Meet the Press content every morning in the First Read newsletter. If you're tired of content that you don't know anything about where it came from, you don't have to have that problem with us. NBC News, MSNBC, MTP, and the Meet the Press mindset right here for you on YouTube. Subscribe now.